Hi everybody, today we are going to be doing one of my favourite activities to do, which is tie-dyeing. So I'm going to talk you through the initial process and then we will have a go at doing some tie-dyeing, and then I'll show you the final result when it's all finished. But obviously tie-dyeing is a bit of a longer process, so I will sort of trim it down for you guys. So we're going to get started by looking at the things we have, or things that you will need. So my first thing is you will need some gloves to wear. I've got my marigolds out. I have done this many times without gloves and it stains every single time, like stains your skin. So please wear gloves if you can. If not, it's not the end of the world. It does wear off or rinse off eventually, but gloves is better basically. You will need something to tie-dye. So I'm doing a sleep suit today for my friend who is expecting imminently. You want whatever it is you tie-dye to be a high percentage of cotton. So 100% cotton, or as high percentage as you can, 90%, 80%. The lower the percentage of cotton, the less likely the dye is to take and stay into the fabric. You will need some tie dyes. I use Dylon hand dyes. Sorry, these ones. So these are the ones that I use, but you can get others from various places. But I use those and they come in a powder form, which I then put into these containers. And they've got like a little spout at the top. So I put powder in about that much up to there, and then I add in some salt and some warm or hot water, and then I give it a good shake and mix it up so that it all dissolves into the water, and then I just use them from there. You can mix it into like a plastic cup or a jug or other things you can use depending on how you want to apply it. These bottles I'm sure you can get separately. I saved these from a previous tie-dye kit, so you can also buy like ready-made tie-dye kits, and I just save the bottles from those and then refill them, but I'm sure you can buy them empty. And then you will also need some rubber bands to tie up your fabric, or cotton thread or something that you can use to tie it with. So yeah, those are the things that you need to get started. So once you have everything ready, then you can start by tying your fabric. I wet my fabric first because it opens up the fabric strands and allows the dye to take a lot easier. You can tie it and then wet it, but you want to make sure that all of your fabric is wet so that it can be absorbed into all of the parts of the fabric. If you fold it or tie it first and then wet it, sometimes parts can stay dry and then the dye will not go into those areas as easily. Again, that can be quite a cool effect if that's what you're going for, but I tend to wet my fabric first. So I've run my sleep suit underneath the tap, so that it's wet. It's not dripping wet, but it is wet like it's come out of the washing machine. And then we're going to tie it, and there are a few different ways you can tie it. I'm going to show you one for this process and then I'll go through a couple of others. So for this one I'm going to do a spiral. So you basically pinch the middle of the fabric and you twist like this so that it goes round. If you've got extra bits of fabric like arms and legs, then you can sort of tuck them round. So you want it to create sort of this spiral shape, almost like a galaxy. And then you're going to use your rubber bands to secure it across like this. Now I put my rubber bands on quite loosely because I find that it allows the dye to travel more freely through the fabric and you get better coverage, but you can do them tighter if you want to have more sort of white areas or areas that aren't touched by the dye. So that's like a personal choice and up to you how you want to do it. So you're going to tie it with rubber bands. You can put others on, going sort of across if you want to hold it like that, but I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to get a plastic tray to put it in because it will make a mess, I promise. And then we're going to get started. So this one I'm doing is going to be rainbow, just so I can show you the different colours. So I'm going to start by choosing a colour. Let's go with red to start off with, and I'm just going to do a section, sort of like a slice of pizza or a slice of cake. So I'm just going to come out from the centre and just fill in this section with the red. Don't worry too much if it bleeds out from this part or leaks out over this side, because they're going to sort of link together anyway. And then I'm just going to choose another colour and add to it. So once I've done all of the colours going round, I'm then going to very carefully pick it up and turn it over, and then I'm going to mirror the colour on the other side. So wherever I can see I've done like the red, the orange, or the yellow, I'm going to then do the same on this side. So now I have both sides saturated. Again, I'm going to very carefully lift it, and you'll be able to see how saturated it is, because it is now dripping from the dye that I've put on, and that's kind of what you want to make sure that you get good coverage. Make sure that you're covered all around the sides and there's no other space. And then I'm just going to pop it that way up. Sorry, I'll just arrange it so you can see. So the yellow or the lighter colours are at the top and the darkest colours at the bottom, because that way you're not going to get the bleeding coming through from the darker colours, and it's not going to totally eradicate the yellow. Because if you leave it with the yellow or the lighter colours at the bottom, all the darker colours are going to run through and merge into that yellow, and then you're not going to see yellow anymore. So you want to keep the yellow colours so they're not going to get sort of leaked into as much as possible. That I will now leave for a few hours to just marinate, and then I will untie it and hang it out so it can dry, and I'll include a clip of that. Okay, so while that rainbow sleep suit is doing its thing, I'm just going to show you a few other ways to tie your material to get different effects. Okay, so we just did the twist one, which is where you pinch in the middle and then twist it round. You can also do sort of pockets, so you can grab sort of little parts of your fabric and put a rubber band around that particular point like that, and then you can do that sort of all over. So you can do one here and one here, and what that will give you is this area here should stay white or whatever colour the fabric is, and then the dye should go around it, so it'll create these little sort of circle patterns. You can also do this section a different colour to the main bulk of the fabric, and it will then create sort of different coloured circles going over. Obviously with tie-dye it is a little bit unpredictable, and there can be bleeding and merging of colours, so don't be too upset if it's not super precise. This is just sort of for you to experiment and have some fun. So that's one way you can do it. You can also fold your fabric into sort of pleats, so you could fold it a bit like a fan, sort of concertina, so like that one way and then back the other way like that, to make like strips. I'm going to tuck the arms in there like that, so you can fold it like that to create strips and then bind it that way, and then that will give you sort of a stripe effect going down. And the same thing, you can do it going across as well, so you could fold it this way going across, and then that would give you stripes going down. So you can do either of those as well. I'm just trying to remember the other ones that I've done before. So you can do like a rainbow sort of shape from one area. So you can kind of put a elastic band sort of here and bind it here, and then go up from one particular corner, going up, and then do each of these sections a different colour, and then that will give you kind of a rainbow effect coming up from a particular area. And you can do that from anywhere on your fabric. You can do the same centrally as well, so you could pinch it in the middle and put a bind here and then a bind here and a bind there, and do each section a different colour, and it will give you this sort of sunburst effect from the centre going out. One of my personal favourites is just the scrunch, where you kind of just grab it and spontaneously sort of screw it up and then put rubber bands around it to bind it in that position, and then that can often give you quite nice spontaneous results. Normally kind of a mottled effect will come out. And again, you can use different colours to create whatever effect you want to create, and that's also one of my favourites. And something else you can do is just leave it flat if you have space to lay it out in a tray anyway, because again it will be messy, but if you want to just leave it out flat and then add tie-dye colours sort of here and there, it gives you a bit more control over the design and how it's going to come out. But again, you will get like bleeding and merging of colours and things like that going on, so just be mindful of that when you're choosing what fold you would like to do. So I'm just going to do my second sleep suit in a slightly different design. I'm going to go for a scrunch. I quite like the spontaneous results that come out when you just sort of randomly scrunch it up. Let's see how we want to do this. We'll make sure get good coverage everywhere, and then again we're just going to bind it. Here, if you can do the tie-dye outside, I would recommend doing it outside, because it is a messy process. But if you can't, then just try and make sure you cover things as well as you can. And so that's bound in a scrunch, and then I'm just gonna add some colours onto it. Okay, so the tie-dye has been marinating in its juices for a couple of hours, and I want to try and get it out so that it can drip dry a little bit. So I'm going to take it out. This is the rainbow one we're doing first. I'll bring it in the sun. There you go. This is the rainbow one that we're doing first. It's dripping already, so that's a good sign. I'll take the take the rubber bands off, and let's see what we have got. Oh, beautiful. So, don't know if you can see the spiral there. I'll peg it up in the sun, you'll be able to see it a bit clearer. Sometimes, depending on what it is I'm tie-dyeing, I will give it a little squeeze to bring out any excess moisture, but I think I'm just going to let this drip and see what happens, because I'm actually very happy with how it's come out so far. I'm sorry, but if you don't want your baby in something as awesome as that, then we can't be friends. So cool, very colourful, and for the parents that are watching, excellent for accident coverage, food stains and other stains. So the other one I did was sort of like a greeny bluey oceany kind of vibe, you can see there. This one was the one that was like sort of screwed up randomly, so we'll see what this one looks like. Ooh, lovely. So you can see how it's a bit more mottled, a bit more of a random pattern. I'll peg it out here as well so you can see, easy to see in the sunshine what we've got. Yeah, so there we have, a little bit closer, there we have our two sleep suits that we tie-dyed. One of my favourite things about this is that it is extremely unlikely I'd go as far as saying impossible to get the same result twice. So anything that you make is going to be an absolutely unique, one of a kind item, which I think is pretty awesome. So yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to let them dry thoroughly outside, and then I will wash them as I would normally wash any clothes. I will put a colour catcher sheet in with them because there will be some dyes that will wash out, so you might want to wash things on their own first with a colour catcher before you put them with other things, especially things that are light coloured, but it's up to you. And then they'll be ready to go to their new owner. Yeah, very happy with those. I hope you have fun doing your tie-dyeing, and I'll see you next time.